I signed up to drive for Uber and Lyft all the way back in 2014, but it wasn't long before I started adding food delivery platforms like Doordash and Uber Eats. Over the past few years of the pandemic, we've seen millions of people sign up for food delivery services. But which option is right for you? And of course, which one can make you more money? Let's find out. I'm Harry, I'm the founder at the Rideshare Guy, so you might imagine I'm a little bit partial to rideshare. In general, I've always found that driving rideshare pays a bit more than food delivery, right? If you think about it from the customer's perspective, how much would you pay for yourself for a ride all the way across town? Now, how much would you pay for that same ride for a burrito? You're probably going to pay more for that ride for yourself, and that's typically what we see. People will pay more for rideshare than they will for food delivery, and so for drivers, that means that you can typically make more money driving rideshare. There is a lot of variability though. Rideshare isn't always the clear-cut winner. Depending on the market that you're driving in, and even the times and places that you're driving in, one option could be better than the other. So let's talk about what it's like to be a rideshare driver. It's not rocket science going out and driving for Uber and Lyft, but I do think it's a little tougher than it looks, right? When you're driving with a passenger down the middle of the road at 45 miles an hour, that's the easy part. Pickups and drop-offs, that's another story. Imagine a passenger who wants to be picked up right in front of the building. There's nowhere to park, there's a red zone, there's a police or a cop or a meter maid right behind you, and you can't safely pick them up, right? This is where it starts to get a little bit challenging for rideshare drivers. The other considerations for a rideshare driver is you're gonna have to deal with a lot of passengers, sometimes drunk ones, right? And so this could present some challenges, so you need to know how to handle people. And then the final piece is that you're gonna be putting a lot of wear and tear on your vehicle as an Uber or Lyft driver. So you have to make sure that you account for all of the expenses, since you are the one that's responsible for all your expenses as a driver. On the bright side, you do get to have some fun and interesting conversations with your passengers. You'll meet some really interesting people. And then you also have a lot of flexibility when it comes to rideshare driving. You can drive Friday, Saturday night, the party hours. You can do early AM airport runs. You can do rush hour if you like sitting in traffic, or you can just drive whenever you want. Big cities tend to be pretty busy any time of the day. Compared to rideshare, food delivery is pretty simple. As a courier, you get an order, you drive to the restaurant, you pick it up, and you take it to the customer. These days, you don't ever really even interact with a customer, so it could be great if you're someone who's more of an introvert, you want to sit there and listen to some podcasts, and you also don't put a ton of miles on your car, right? People aren't ordering food from 20 miles away because the food would be cold by the time they got there. So it's short distances and pretty easy jobs, so I think that's one thing that a lot of people like about food delivery. I'm a big fan of rideshare driving since you can make more money driving Uber and Lyft, and I think that's the one thing that people often care most about. But if you're the type of person that doesn't want to deal with drunk or angry customers, or you want to drive short distances, or you want a burrito who doesn't talk back to you, I think food delivery is a great option. Go drive and deliver for Doordash or Uber Eats. Ultimately, though, at the end of the day, the great thing is that you can try one, try out another, and you have a lot of optionality in the gig economy. So you might end up adding 3, 4, or 5 services and be able to pick whatever you want to drive whenever you want to drive.